Hey viewers, last year I bought this air impact wrench. It's a Craftsman model 875 188840, and it works, though it feels a little bit rough sometimes. I think really all I need to do is open up this oil port, put some oil in, kind of flush it out and everything like that, and it would probably work perfect. But I thought it'd be more fun to take it apart, clean it, lube it, and put it all back together. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start off by removing this little rubber boot thing over there, just kind of so I can see what's under here and get access to everything. So I'll just carefully slide this off and get that out of the way. And it's kind of wet and ucky under there, so I can clean all that up anyway. Next, I'm going to remove this rear plate here. There's 4 Allen bolts holding this on, and they're 4mm. So I'm just going to remove these bolts and see what's under there. Now I'll set these bolts aside, and then I can pull off this little back plate here, and then there's a gasket here, and let me see, there's a little pin here. I pull this out of there, set this aside, and looks as if I kind of push this whole body down. I'll kind of like release this. So here's this, and there's a bearing in there. So there's this. It's got all the little vanes on there, little fins, and these come out. So I'm going to set this aside. Then I'm going to see if I'm going to tap this with a punch here and see if I can kind of tap this, the rest of this part out of the main body here. So I got that out. And pay attention to the orientation of how it went in. And looks like there's some more come out. So I got this part, there's some more bearings there. And then I got a little hammer mechanism in here. And then just looks like the rest of it's just kind of empty in there. And kind of clean all this out. Okay, so if I can pull this out there, see there's like a little part there. So there's this part here, and then there's a little rubber gasket going around here, and then that's kind of holding this part on. Use a flat tip screwdriver, carefully get under this gasket, pry it out of there. Then this part will slide through like this, and then there's a couple little parts like this, these little capsule things that fit into there. Okay, so now I have it all taken apart, and I'm going to clean up these parts and get ready to put it all back together again. Okay, I'm ready to start putting this thing back together again. I'm going to start off with this little impact, the hammer part here, and it's got the 2 little capsules. I'm going to slide those into this part here, and then they're just going to sit in there, they won't fall through. And then this part here, so see how these there's 2 here, there's like nothing over there, and again on this part here they're kind of off center there, so these are going to line up and slide through like that. And then I'm going to take the little O-ring and slide this over and get it down into the slot like that. So now that's in there like this, and then I can take this little part and slide this into here and turn it around so that it kind of goes in there like that. And then I'm going to slide this down into the impact hammer body until it comes all the way out through the front here. And push that through like that. So now that's sitting in there like that. And so now I've got these parts. I'm going to put these together here before I insert it into the body. So I've got this part here. This is like the wider part, and the bearings there. So the bearings are going to go face out. So what I'm going to do is this little part with the splines is going to go through here like this. And so now I want to slide in the vanes. The vanes, so the rounded part goes facing in, and they're just going to fit into these little slots like this. And then I'm going to slide this part over here like this. There's this little part with a hole here, this little square here, and this part here, this little cylinder here. There's a full rounded part that's going to go to the back, and then this little square part there is going to line up with this little square part here like this. And then I can slide this little pin in through like that. So that kind of like locks that all together. And so then this part here slides onto here like this. So that little pin goes through there like that. And so now this whole little part here is like this. But before I put this thing together, I'm going to take a little bit of this tool oil. And since I kind of cleaned a lot of the oil off, I'm going to put just kind of just squirt, just drip a little bit of tool oil down into there. This is for air tool oil. And I put this on here with the bearings facing out, just like this. And so now this whole assembly is fitting together here. And then I'm going to slide this in, and I want the pin part facing down here like this. So I'm going to just carefully slide this in. And I may have to tap this in a little bit. And it's going to engage with this part here. And I'll press that all the way in there. So it's all the way down. And so now I'm going to put this little gasket on here. I'm just going to reuse this gasket. And you see like a little rounded part here where it met with this part. So you want to make sure that that stays the same there. Turn this a little bit here because this pin here needs to line up with this hole in this gasket. See if I can just kind of rotate it around a little bit. Like that. Slide the back cover on, and then install these screws. And so then just snug these screws down. Don't need to like completely torque them down, but just have them kind of tight. Now I want to put oil in here for the whole hammer mechanism in there. So there's an oil screw here. So I'm going to remove this. This is a 4mm screw here. So just remove this screw. And then I want to put in about an ounce of 30 weight motor oil. And so I'm going to use like a little syringe. This is 10 milliliters. So 1 ounce is about 29 milliliters. So I'm going to squirt an ounce of oil into here. Then go ahead and reinstall this screw here. Be careful not to cross thread it or anything like this. And again, this is just for a little 4mm Allen wrench on here. And then before I run it, I want to go ahead and just squirt in a little bit of the air oil in through the air feed here. Now I'm going to go ahead and run this on my air compressor for about 30 seconds and be moving it around. So I want to get all the oil all distributed around in there. I ran the impact wrench for about 30 seconds, kind of moving it all around, upside down, everything like that. So I got the oil all nice and distributed up in there. So now I'm going to remove this oil plug again. And pour out all the oil, because any oil that comes out now is all excess oil in there. And you even run the wrench to get some of that oil to come out. Now I can put the oil plug back in. The remaining oil that's in there is all that's needed for just regular operation. So that's all in there like that. Okay, now I'm ready to put the boot back on, and so I'm going to slide this over here like this. And I try to want to get it relatively straight to begin with here before I get it all the way on. So kind of have both these sides kind of equal like that. And that looks pretty good. Then I can take this back part here, slide this over here like this, and there. And so now it's all back together and it's working. And so that is how to disassemble and assemble a impact wrench, at least a Craftsman 875 188840 model. And I'm sure there's other models that are pretty similar to this. Hope you found this useful or interesting. If you did, please click like. I always appreciate getting likes on my videos. It helps me out. If you're not subscribed to my channel, click the big subscribe button and you'll see new videos as they come out. And I'm always coming out with new videos. And I'm also over on Facebook, RJ the Bike Guy. Go over there, like my page. I post a lot of stuff over there. Anyway, thank you very much for watching.